think the lab's really hard to explain because there are so many different pieces that all have to come together to make the lab magic. I mean, that would be like me saying, explain Ariel. Like, you can't, right? So it's not like the pencils or the markers or like the paper or the exercises or the improv. It's everything, but most importantly, I feel like it's the people that are here. You can run the lab 100 times with different groups and it'll be different every single time. And I think every single person in each one of those cohorts would say it was amazing. And I think it's just something that happens when you get a bunch of people together in a space that have something in common and that they like want to explore and try new things and they feel safe to do that, that you just end up with this feeling of like freedom. Um, that's hard to explain, kind of like the lab.
It's like it's more than the sum of its parts. It's like you just said, Jason, like you can say these are the materials or these are the activities, but it's hard to explain what happens. And I'm willing to bet that it would probably be like the experience might be subtly different in different cohorts too. So it's also not an absolute.
I also think it's different for each of us. I'm sure that we all had a slightly different experience, even though we were in the same cohort. Some of us, all four modules, we've had different experiences because we're different people with different brains and different lives. Um, I also think it's so difficult to explain because there's so much emotion and feeling behind it. When I try to explain just to like my family or my friends, like what is the lab and like what do I do in there, I can say that like art, improv, nomad, inspired experiments, all this stuff. I can explain the structure of the Zoom call every single week. I can explain the structure of the whole cycle or the whole module. Um, but I can't explain like the strong feeling of like I get to go to this Zoom call with these people that I like deeply care about now and who I feel deeply care about me in my life. And I get to expand my worldview and expand myself with them. I don't know how to explain the emotion behind it.
I think it's a little bit like a recipe for some really amazingly delicious food item or dessert or something where you can tell people, well, you can put this in and you can put this in and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but until someone actually cooks it or bakes it and tastes it, they really have no idea.
I think what's special about it is that we are all unique and we're bringing our own experiences to the time that we spend together. Because when I think about bringing out the art tools and that first time doing it, and it brought me back to art class that I took when I was 9 years old, probably. That was unique for me, right? That was a feeling that I had and sort of sparked that sort of childlike joy in a way that I hadn't felt in, well, since I was that old or that young. Um, so it's really hard to explain that to people, that it is about like it's about the community, but it's about what we're bringing. Because every activity that we would do, whether it's improv or art play, it was always unique, I would imagine. I felt like mine were unique, even though the activity we were doing was the same. I felt like it was unique at the same time.
Um, yeah, I think that is Carrie really holds a space that um, brings out a lot of that joy and the like childlike discovery and authenticity.
Miriam, I loved how you described the lab as like a recipe and you don't know until it's done and you're tasting it. Um, when I think about the lab and sort of talking to everybody, um, and I have recently been thinking for myself that I have a really hard time setting concrete goals for things. But I think so many of us came in to the lab with such different, we all had different reasons we were joining, and we're coming with different baggage and different histories and different, all these things and different things that we want to get out of it. And when I think about the lab, I'm like, you're going to get out what you want to get out of it. And it's going to do something, even if it's not, I wrote down X, Y, and Z, and this is what I want to leave with specifically. And I feel like going in, I might have had a hard time I had a hard time articulating goals. So my goal was, I just want to participate in this program that feels different than anything that I would have ever signed up for myself. And I came out with like this myriad of experiences and connections and takeaways and things that I could apply to my life, but really hard to just like put language to it. And I sort of see that with all of us. And again, that difficulty to explain the lab. And yet we can sit in a room and we can just have these connections and talk about what we're doing. And like we get it with each other on a different level. And without even experiencing the same things as each other. We're like, yeah. We're coming out with like our own great experience. And that's the point. Like we're getting a lot of great things. And so I think about that often, that like we're all coming in wanting different things or looking for different things, and we're all getting out exactly what we needed to get out of it.
It's so interesting because I feel like there are so many people I know, and I'm sure a zillion people I don't know, who would get so much out of the lab. And I just have such a hard time explaining it because there's nothing like it. It's like I can say, well, it's this art class. It's like, no, it's not just an art class. Well, it's an improv class. Well, it's not just an improv class. There's all these nomad inspired experiments. I'm like, well, it's not that. It's I don't know exactly what Miriam said. It's this, put this together and that together and carry magic and the magic of all the people who are in the group, and you end up with this amazing experience. But it's just really hard to explain.
I feel the same way, Sarah. I think of all these people, I'm like, everyone would love this. How do I just tell it in the right way?
What's funny is like I'd had this, as we're talking about now, like the experience of explaining it. And it's like I had several people, it's like, well, what do you get out of it? What's the goal? Like you're spending money on that. So what is it that you're getting? And it's such like a tangible thing that we're often seeking. And it doesn't, what the lab is it's intangible. There's not, it's not like I can check off my boxes and say, okay, yeah, we did this and we did that, and I achieved this. It's like, well, I feel like even when I talk about, kind of stepping outside of myself and letting go of that self-doubt that I would have around the things that I'm creating at work, it's a journey. It's like I'm not done with that. I haven't come to like an end point. So yeah, it's really hard to explain that to people. I feel like it's like it's a journey. Like you're starting a journey with the lab.
Yeah, I like how you put it with tangible and intangible, because I feel like I met Carrie at a conference because she was the keynote speaker. And like by the time it was over, I had like 3 pages of notes and I was like, yeah, that. But I didn't know what that was. It was just more of that. But like even her and I talked about that. And I'm like, I still can't tell you what that is, except it's this. It's the lab. I just didn't know. But like you said, like you're not coming out with a certificate or like a thing you can touch so much as, I don't know, something.
What do you say? You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll get uncomfortable, you'll make new friends, I don't know, you'll grow.
You'll get some art supplies.
I want more of that.
Me too.
It kind of feels like kind of how we have collected all of these art materials along the way. Like we're collecting all of these like concepts to put into like a toolbox, if you will. That is not like, yeah, like how kind of how Sherry was saying, like it's not like over. Like we're collecting these things and then we're building upon them and using them in our lives to like better our lives and become the people that we want to be. And that is not a tangible thing that you can hold.
Set of like different tools, different experiences that, you know, can just like put to use forever after.